we will install the softwares on our dedicated servers. After that, what we will do? Deployment. It is the actual process. But sir, if DevOps team is not deploying, cloud team is deploying, okay, then how the deployment will be? In DevOps, we have used Jenkins for deployment. What we have used? But in cloud, we can use service called AWS code pipeline. What we can use? So today also we are going to do the deployment, but we are going to do the deployment on AWS code pipeline. Where we are going to do deployment? Last class we have seen Java application deployment, right? So I'm going to show you the Node.js deployment now. Node.js or Python, anything is same, okay? For that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create AWS code pipeline. What I'm going to create? Okay, so let me open the project code pipeline with Elastic Beanstalk. So here guys, remember it is also very easy. Total number of steps are 20 steps. Okay, it is very easy to create. Okay, how I am going to do is, first of all, here I am going to use a platform for deployment. I am going to use a platform called Elastic Beanstalk. What I am going to use? Elastic Beanstalk is a service on your cloud where you can deploy your applications. Okay. Let me open the code pipeline for you. Okay, console. So like remember the architecture. Here you are going to deploy the Node.js application. Which application? Node.js application. Let me write it on the paint. So remember guys, it is also same real-time way. Okay, I'm going to explain the real-time scenario, how the code pipeline works. I am going to deploy Node.js application. Which application? On which platform I am going to deploy? Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic. How I am going to deploy means by using AWS code pipeline. How I am going to deploy? Code pipeline. Okay. The only thing different from last class to this class is there we have used Java code. Which code? And deployed on EC2 instance. Where we have deployed? By using Jenkins, right? Same concept here. Instead of Jenkins, we are using code pipeline. Instead of EC2, we are going to deploy on Elastic Beanstalk. Actually, Elastic Beanstalk is automatically creating the EC2 instance. We are deploying an EC2 only, but EC2 is going to be created by Elastic Beanstalk. Clear? This is the architecture. First of all, do I need to have the source code or not? But to get the source code, actually what we need is we need to create like this. Let me show it to you. Go to your EBS, type EBS, Elastic Beanstalk. Create an application. So the application name I'm giving is, let's take Zomato application. Which application? Last class we created Swiggy, right? So now create the Zomato. So here platform means, sir, which platform you are going to use? Do you want to create your application on Go language or Java language or Node.js language, PHP, Python? I am going to use Node.js. Okay. It is a Node.js platform version 5.6.3 and it is the Amazon Linux 2 means our EC2 instance or not. Click on this one. So now here you have two things. One is sample code. Second one is our custom code. I am going to take the sample code because we don't have source code, right? I am going to take the sample code. But on real time, you are going to take the code given by the developer. Developer will give the code for you. You are going to take that code. So if you want to give your own code, upload your code, click on it. Sir, from where you are going to upload? If your code is on local, select this one. Or if your code is on S3, you can upload from S3 as well. But my code is sample code. Which code? So automatically AWS will give the code for me instead of writing the own code. Create an application. Now it is going to create the infrastructure. It is going to create AWS EC2, S3 it is going to create, VPC going to create, as well as what we call this one, S3, like buckets it is going to create, everything will be created automatically. You see this one, using Elastic Beanstalk, this bucket to store the bucket environment data. Is the bucket created now? After that, it is creating the environment. So wait for few minutes. It will take couple of minutes. Wait for it. So Elastic Beanstalk is the place where you can deploy your application end to end. Let me show you. Click on duplicate tab. Like I'll show you. Just go to the Elastic Beanstalk. See, Elastic Beanstalk is to deploy end-to-end web application. What you are going to deploy? You can deploy the web application. You can manage the web application as well. You can use any of the platform. .NET you can use. Python you can use. Node you can use. Anything you can use here. Lambda. What is Lambda first of all? Lambda, okay, Lambda we can create serverless architecture, right? But for deployment, we can use the Elastic Beanstalk instead of that one, okay? In real time, you can use Elastic Beanstalk or you can use any other platform. All we need is deployment, right? If we need to use Lambda, we need to write the code, right? But here am I writing the code? All right. Automatically it is creating, right? That's the difference. So now environment is starting. Are you seeing this one? Here if you see, security group created a security group and Elastic load balancer created. Are you seeing load balancer? Or not? Here we haven't done anything. I just selected the platform and click on create application. What are the infrastructure we need? It is entirely creating or not. That's it. So mostly you will have only two classes. One is Nagios and scripting. Like this JFrog and XS like SonarCube I'll cover today by most. Tomorrow we are going to have career guidance. What we are going to have? Career guidance. So online people, some people want to come to here, so you can join here for career guidance. Even though I can take it online, but offline will be very interactive compared to online. Like Ansible Tower setup is only we are going to do, because if you want to do subscription, it is going to take like almost all $600 like that. Okay, we don't take subscription, but setup is very easy. I will give the comments. Even if you copy paste the comment, it will be very easy to set up. So concept you are having virtual environment. I need to tell virtual environment, scripting, Nagios. So current it is on which state, guys? Pending status. Location. Let me ping it you on chat. Now, if you are seeing health is okay or not? 1 second. So now if you see, is the environment working now? Sir, if I want to see my application, how I can see? Means, are you seeing this one here? Click on this link, you will be seeing your application. Are you seeing the application is done? Congratulations, your first Elastic Beanstalk Node.js application is running. Our application is running or not? There we don't have actually code. For that purpose, we have taken a reference code. But if you want to give some other code, you can give it. Okay, I'll show you how to modify the code as well. Okay, the basic deployment I have done. Let's say it is version 1.0. What it is? Sir, I want to do the deployment of 2.0. What I want to do? For the deployment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a AWS code pipeline. What I'm going to create? From the code pipeline, you are going to do the deployment. Deployment you have done normally now, but I will do the deployment from the AWS code pipeline. What I will do? It is very easy, guys. The steps will be very easy. First of all, we need to download the basic Node.js code. Like, let me create. Even you can take the Python code as well. Everything will be fine. Okay. If you want to download the code, we need to go for this path. Okay. If you give this, copy the link. Go to the browser and paste the link. So now file will be downloaded. Are you seeing the file downloaded here? Node.js code. In this file, we have the code. Okay. Now we are going to modify the code. We are going to do the deployment by our own hands. Okay. It is my reference source code I have taken. Now what I will do is modify the code. And after that, I am going to deploy. What I am going to do? How I am going to deploy? By using AWS code pipeline. See, I have given the step by step here clearly. Step number 1 done, step number 2 done, step number 3 also done. Is it clear for all of you? 3 steps. What is the step number 4? We need to use the source commit. What we need to use? What is the purpose of source commit actually? A code commit. When developer write the code, we need to add it, commit it. Correct or not? So here I don't have Git to add and commit because Git is some DevOps tool, right? But here we are using cloud environment. That means we need to use only cloud. In cloud, we use code commit to write and save our source code. Okay. So open your code commit here. Click on code commit. If you click on code commit, right here, it is the place where you are going to add your source code. Like on GitHub, we place our source code, right? In GitHub. Same on cloud also, we are going to save our code on your code commit, where we are going to store. So like if we go here, are we seeing the repository? Same like GitHub repo. Create a repository. My repository name is Swiggy. What I am giving? That's it. Create. We want to use like this one, enable Amazon code guru reviewer. Like it is to review the code only. I don't want to give it, just create it. I have only created repository, right? I have only created the repository, but have I included any source code there? No, right? So how I gonna include the source code means come to the next step. So now you can use EC2 instance or Git bash. I have shown you how to work on EC2 instance right for Git. So this time we can use Git bash, or if you want to use Git, it's up to your choice. You can also use an EC2 server as well. But I am using Git bash here. Go to the Git bash. So if you see here, currently, we need to clone the repository. What we need to clone? So how we can clone means if we go to here, are you seeing the clone URL? Are you seeing it or not? So we need to give HTTPS or SH. SH, huh? Which one I need to give? HTTPS or SH? Okay. HTTPS I am giving. What I am giving? Just look at the document here. Which one I have given here? HTTPS. Correct, right? So I need to select the HTTPS. So give the command called git clone. What I am giving? And give this there. Enter. Now you will be seeing the okay. Swiggy is already taken there. Swiggy is already taken there. Let me delete the Swiggy. Previously, I have some Swiggy here. RM-RF Swiggy. So now Swiggy will be not there. Give the command git clone and this repository. Git clone. Now the repository is cloning or not? Oh, wait a second. Unable to access git code commit repositories v1 repo Swiggy. Correct. Wait a second, something is not proper here. Let me check it. Let me expand this one first of all. Unable to access this one. The request URL is error. Okay, 1 second. Need to add for credentials actually. Or else let me do one thing. Let me change the repository name instead of this one. Let me change the repo name. Swiggy. Notify clone URL delete repo. One second, let me delete this one first of all. No, not that one. Actually, it need to come, but 1 second. Let me delete and create one more time. I'll give the name as Raham instead of Swiggy, like not Raham as well. DevOps patch. I'm giving the repository name as DevOps patch, but my application is Swiggy. What it is? Click on create. So now clone the URL. HTTPS. So we need to use which command? Git clone. Other repos are coming, right? Once again, what it is telling, you might need the Git client support version 1.0 AWS code commit repository. Okay. Client hypervisor, review the document, add a file. Something is not there. Correct. Something is missing here. No, Git bash directly will get the Git. Okay. Dot git where we have here we have git clone. Let me clone this one GRC. I think it is a new one. I haven't seen this previously. Let me use this one. Code commit. Unable to access. Why? US East 1 Amazon.com. The request URL return error. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me create a server and do it there. Yeah, like let me do it on server instead of doing from here. Instances. Like, are you seeing the Zomato server is running here currently? Okay, you can use the same server or you can use some other different server as well. But like I am going to the same server instead of creating another. Okay, by default it won't come with all traffic. Let me give the all traffic here for security. And here we need to give all traffic enable. You just all traffic because there we don't have SH, right? For that purpose it is not coming. It will come now. I think it is the issue with it. Okay. Yum install git -y. Okay. Git init space dot and give the command git clone this one. Clone URL and select HTTPS. So now is it asking the username? Screen you are not able to see a screen cutting. Okay. Is it fine now? Still also. Okay, you want me to some decrease. Okay. So now what it is asking is username and password. What it is asking? So from where we need to give the username and password? No. Here we need to create some other username and password. We need to create IAM role and give administrator access. Clear? So for that purpose, instead of creating that one, what I will do is go to here. Instead of creating that one, you will see this IAM. Here we will generally create IAM and administrator access, but we won't give that one. We will give some separate user. Go for the user, create a user called code pipeline user, shortcut as CP user, CP user, like so. I'm going to give what type of permission here? Give it to here. That's it. So when you create a user, right here, we are not allowed to give the normal username and password. So then what we need to give is download this file and like go to IAM back. There will be something called as your git user credentials. On IAM, we shall have something like go to the user here, select this one. Inside the security credentials, in the security credentials, you have something called as this one. Are you seeing the HTTP git credential for AWS code commit? Click on here, generate credentials. Are you seeing the username here? Copy this username, give it here. Okay, and password is asking for the password here. Copy this password and give it here. That's it. So you have appeared to clone the entity repository, even though you have gone it. Are you seeing the repo now? That's it. So the repository is now cloned. So now what you are going to do is you are going to get the files from here. What you are going to do? Files we need to get from there to here. Actually, our files, source files on our local. Source files on our local. But I want to upload to here. How can I upload? How can I upload? This activity is not working for the Git. Actually, if you see, I have given the same command, right? But it is not able to work on Git actually. It need to work, but instead of Git, I am using some other place. See, fatal unable to access. Okay, I don't know why it is coming, but it's okay. Fine. Go to this repository, CD DevOps patch. Are you seeing any files? No. Then what I need is what are the files I have downloaded? I need to get all files from there to here. How can I get? We can use AWS S3 command, right? We can upload to bucket and from bucket we can get it or not. So upload to the bucket here. Go to S3. Upload initially these files to S3. From S3 you can get it to your server. Go to downloads. These will be defaultly on like this path. Let me delete this one. We need to extract this one. So how to do it means click on extract all. Just to give the path as node.js. I am giving. Click on extract. Now all the files will be presenting here or not? Are you seeing all of these files? These files I need to move to my server first of all. If I want to move to server, I need to upload this to the S3 bucket. So how to upload to S3 bucket means you know it, right? It is our bucket. Go to here. Resources, we don't have any resource actually. These are some other parts. We don't want all of this. Like create a new folder called source code. Create this new folder first of all. In the folder, like upload the files. Source code. So click on upload. Click on add files or folders. We directly go into this one. Select all of this. Click on upload. Now is the source code presenting on your bucket? From the bucket, we can copy to here, right? How we can copy? AWS S3 CP. We need to copy all of these files. For that purpose, we need to copy the entire folder itself. Click on this one and copy S3 URI. Go to here. Give the command AWS S3 CP. It is the source, right? It is the destination dot I am giving. What it is telling? It is not a directory. Why? Because on the CLI class, I have tell something command for you. Hyphen recursive we need to give or not? We need to give hyphen recursive. So for that purpose, let me open the CLI here. Let me go to this one. Desktop. Raham, like let me go to this one, AWS. Here we have some CLI commands. Actually, if it connect to the GitHub, right, like Git bash, it will be very easy for us. Okay, but it is not connecting. For that purpose, I'm using CLI. It is a command we need to use. Okay, AWS S3 copy hyphen recursive. Is it the command or not? It is not that command. This command is to upload our local folder to the S3 bucket. But what we want? Files from S3 to the local. Then which command we need to use here? Tell me that one. AWS S3 source destination. I have given that now. Just look at these commands. Which command we need to use? Syncing is for buckets, right? Between two buckets. We go to here. AWS S3 CP from this bucket to I am copying, right? And I am copying to give star. What it is telling? It is not unable to get the files. Is it done now? What I have given? Hyphen recursive, because when you are working with multiple objects, I have said multiple times, we want to work with multiple objects, we need to give hyphen recursive. What we need to give? Now am I having all the files here? That's it. So up to this step number here it is done. Okay, step number here it is done. Okay, so now what you are going to do is, now you need to write your code here. Like the simple thing is here, are you seeing the index.html code? View that code, VIM index.html. It is the place where you consist all your source code. I am going to change the version from 1.0 to 2.0. Like I am going to change the source code. Like if we go to here, I am going to add a new source code here. Like I am going to write a new paragraph like this -p. Like, this is my version 2.0. Is it clear? Have I changed the source code or not here? So once the code is changed, this will be on tracked mode or untracked mode. untracked mode. We need to add it. So give the command git add star and git commit -m raham commits of version 2. Apply to all this. Now all files are committed or not. I have changed the source code. Once the source code is changed, what I need to do? We need to make the deployment. What we need to make? Deployment. So here if you see, then go for the documentation next step. Once I have added and committed the files, okay, we need to push it. What we need to do? Push it. Give the command called git push. I'll give the document for you. Okay, don't worry. Give command git push. Hit enter. Just we need to give what here? Username and password. Where we will get from? Go to IAM. Here we will get the username and password. So go to the users and CP user. Unexpected error. Security credentials, and then are you seeing the user here? So select on this user. Actually, we need to download the credentials. Click on generate credentials one more time. Download this file for your future purpose. Copy the username. Where I need to give? So here. And after that, we need to give the password. So we have the downloaded passwords, right? So go for the downloads. Click here. Click on the password. Save it here. Now all the objects pushed or not. If you go to your GitHub, like not GitHub, here we are using this one, right? A code commit. If you go to the code commit now, just go to AWS code commit. Code commit, only code commit. If you go to the code commit, then are you able to see the all files here? Just see it here. It is my repository, right? DevOps batch. Copy this repository. If you go to here, are you seeing the all files now? So what I have done up to now, I'll give a briefing. Just give me 1 second. Like step number 1, what I have done. Step number 1, I have created an Elastic Beanstack application. Step number 2, what I have done, downloaded the source code. Step number 3, creating repository. What is the step number 4 I have done? Added the files. Like I have changed the source code and I have added the files, committed the files and push it to the git commit. Sorry, git commit not AWS code commit. Okay. These are the first 4 steps. Are these 4 steps clear for all of you? Just all we have done is creating Elastic Beanstalk application, like downloading the source code, creating the repository, adding the source code and committing the source code and pushing to the AWS code commit. So now we have the source code, right? Then after that, what we need to do, we need to build and we need to deploy. Actually for Node.js, we need not to build it. We can directly deploy. How we can deploy is, so go to the documentation here. The documentation, like what you can see is here, we need to create the pipeline for deployment. What we need to create? This pipeline is very easy. You will create on just 2 minutes. Like, let me show you. Let's go to the pipeline, create pipeline. My pipeline name is Swiggy pipeline. Which pipeline? Swiggy pipeline. So it is asking to create a new role or existing role. I want the new role because I don't have any role for deployment. I am creating a new role. Click on next. Source provider, sir, where you are going to get the source code? Where we are going to get from? AWS code commit only, right? If you click on drop down, are you seeing the AWS code commit? From here, we are going to get the source code. What is the repository name we have given? DevOps batch. Are you seeing the DevOps batch here? Click this. Which branch we have committed? Master. By default, master will come. No, I'm talking about branch, right? So by default, master branch will come. So it is asking whenever you want to do the deployment, right? It is asking for the Amazon CloudWatch for monitoring purpose. Which purpose? That means what are the deployment steps happening, right? The CloudWatch is going to monitor there. What is monitoring there? CloudWatch. CloudWatch is a monitoring service used to monitor our AWS infrastructure. And artifacts are where you want to get the artifact format. Like output artifact form will be, see here I'm using AWS code pipeline uses the default zip format. What it will use? Zip format. For artifact in the pipeline, it does not include Git metadata about the repository. So remember, they will ask an interview question where you are going to store the artifact. We can store the artifact on Nexus, we can store JFrog, we can store AWS S3 also we can store. But if we are using Jenkins, we will get the output artifact in var format. Which var format? But if you are using AWS code pipeline, this will be on which format? Zip format. Which format? That will be the only difference. Clear? If it is AWS code pipeline, we will have the zip format. If it is AWS, not if it is Jenkins, then we are going to get the artifact as var format. Click on next. Build provider. Actually, we don't have anything to build here. If it is Java, we need to include the build step. But this one, we don't need to give the build. Skip the build stage. And even if you click on the drop down, it is asking AWS code build or Jenkins. I don't want to build it. Okay, I can directly deploy this one. Click on skip this one. Skip. Deploy provider. Sir, which provider you are going to use now? Where we are going to deploy now? On server or Elastic Beanstalk? Select the Elastic Beanstalk. What is the application name we have given? Zomato, right? Environment. Which environment? Zomato environment. Click on next. Create the pipeline. So step number 5 is creating the pipeline. So now pipeline will be created. If you want to deploy, it will take the source code and directly it is going to deploy. I haven't given the build because it is not Java application, so I haven't given the build step here. Click on release changes, release. So now it will get the source code. Is it in progress? Wait for it. But on real time, we have only one other stage, and it is called as build stage. Okay, that will be already given. We don't need to create anything of this. Remember, in real time, what you will do is no, you won't do anything. All the setup will be existed, right? You will check the ticket and you will click on release. That's it. That's not what our work is actually. Just we configure the details and we will click on the release. So it is deploying now. If you want to check like how it is going to do, click on that one. So currently you can see the environment here. It is running. Wait for it. Is it our commit changes or not? Raham commits version 2. Is it our commits? If you click on the pipeline execution ID, right, you will see something here. So deployment success now. It is our old code, right? If I click on refresh, are you seeing the new code here? Seeing it or not? This is the way how real time works. But here we have implemented everything from the scratch. But on real time, you know, who is going to implement? Developer is going to write the source code. Who is going to write the source code? Developer. Sir, again I want to go for version 3. Again I want to go for version 3. What can I do? Go to the server and change the source code first of all. Because if I change the source code only, I can able to do deployment, right? Change the source code. So go to the server. It is my server actually. Like give VM index.html one more time and write some more new code. I'm going to write like this. I'm going to use the h2 tag now to get the like words bigger. This is the new code slash h2. The code changer now. Again, if the code changer, what I need to do? I need to add and I need to so give the command git add star git commit -m abc commits. Give some random commits. It's fine. Star. Is it done? So now what I need to do? We need to push the source code. If I push all, it is going to do the deployment. Git push, hit enter. So again, we need to give what? Username and password. Where can we get username and password? From the CSV file. It is our username. And it is the password. Is it pushed now? Once the source code is pushed, again I need to deploy. What I need to do? To do the deployment, what I need to give here, I need to click on release changes, right? That's the only thing I will do. I don't do anything. Just to go to AWS code pipeline or code commit, whatever. So here, if you see, just go to the pipeline here. Click on the pipeline. Are you having the recent pipeline here? Swiggy. Click on release changes one more time. It is still in progress, but it is done already. If you want to check, refresh this one. Like I have changed the source code, right? It is taken automatically. So wait for it. It is still on progress. Wait for it. Okay, sir. Go to here and refresh. Here, what you will see now is my new code. Click on refresh here. Are you seeing it? Is my new code like that. There I have uploaded the tag, right? For that purpose, it is coming on the opposite. If I give correct tag, it will come like that. If you want to change the color, if you want to add images, you can do it. How we can do it is by using the HTML and CSS. Okay, this is how the real time works actually. But one more thing, not everyone is going to use Elastic Beanstalk for deployment. If I want to include my server for deployment, how to add the server means, check out here. Are you seeing the deploy stage? Seeing the deployments here? Click on the deploy, applications. And if you want to deploy this, create an application. Application name is like ABCD. I am giving compute platform. Sir, where you want to deploy? I want to deploy on EC2. Where I want to deploy? Create application. Okay. It is the way how you can add EC2 for deployment. I have deployed on Elastic Beanstalk. But if you want to deploy on EC2, we need to select that application and we need to configure the EC2 server. Again, going for pipeline. This time I'll create some other pipeline, new pipeline to show you. Create pipeline. Pipeline name is pipeline 2. Go for advanced settings. I don't want this one. Click on next. Service provider. Again, we need to select. We need to select AWS code pipeline because from there we are getting the code, right? Select the repository name. Select the branch name. Click on next and build provider. I don't want to build it. Skip this stage. So now here deploy provider. Previously used Elastic Beanstalk. What you have used? Sir, if I want to deploy on EC2, select AWS EC2. Wait. AWS code deploy. Click on this one. What is our application name? ABC, right? I have given. Are you seeing ABCD? This ABCD is going to have deployment group. What it is going to have? If you see here, I am not able to see the deployment group. Why I am not able to see? Because I haven't created the deployment group. What I haven't created? Deployment group there I need to create. Let me make this a duplicate tab and show you lively. How to create the deployment tab means click on AWS code pipeline one more time. Leave this page. If you go to the AWS code deploy, go for the applications here. Application is there, but have a given deployment group. Click on deployments. Okay, there will be no here. Go to deployment configuration. Are you seeing the create deployment configuration? Click on here. Deployment configuration name I am giving Raham this time. What I am giving? And I am going to select EC2. Sir, you want the health status performance. Okay, like it is fine. I am going to create the deployment configuration. Value is up to like 2. I am going to give default value or 1. Is the configuration created now? Okay. So now if you go to here, this one, pipeline 2, next service provider AWS code commit. Repository name, DevOps batch, branch name master. Click on next. Build, skip it, skip and deployment. Deployment provider you are going to use what? AWS code deploy. Application name and deployment not getting. Why we are not getting still? Here you have seen deployment configuration. What you have seen? But what I need to create? Deployment group. What I need to create? I created a deployment configuration. This is fine. But if you want to create the deployment group, how to do it means select this one. Click on create. Come, not this one. Like let me add this one actually. Go for the applications here. ABCD. Are you seeing the deployment group here? Select create deployment group. Here we need to add our servers. Our deployment group name is Raham group. Which group? Deployment group means how many servers you want to deploy. If I want to deploy the application on 2 servers, I can select here. So directly go to here and select your AWS EC2 instance. How many instances are running currently here? Only 1. Okay. So we need to add only that one. How to add it means like you can give the key name. What is the name of my server, running server? Zomato env. Copy this name. Zomato -env. Are you seeing my server here? If you have some other server, you can also include some other server. Okay. And scheduling of all of this, finally, definitely we need to like give the load balancer here. If we have load balancer, definitely we need to give and give the target group, anything. Click on create deployment. Service role, like by default, we service role, what we can do. Let me create the service role for as well. IAM roles. So go for users like no roles. Create a role. I am going to create a role. Like if you are seeing already we have one role. Are you seeing this role? AWS code pipeline role for Swiggy. This I have created for previous. If you want to create newly, you can also create newly. So finally creating all of this, right? If you click on create deployment group, you will be able to create the deployment group. That's it. So now previously we'll be able to deploy on Elastic Beanstalk, but now you are being able to deploy on EC2 server. So on real time, not everyone will use Elastic Beanstalk. Not everyone will use the EC2. Some people will use Elastic Beanstalk to deploy. Some people will use EC2. Some people use Docker as well. Okay, if you want to add, this is the place where you can add. We need to add on deployment group. Where we need to add? If you add on deployment group, it is always going to take care of it. Okay. So this is how the code pipeline is going to work for you. Clear? Same thing, guys. Like what are the concept you have done on normal by using DevOps tools. Git, we have taken the source code. We have built and deployed on EC2 servers here. Here also the same process, but we are not using DevOps tools here. We are using only AWS services. What we are using? AWS service. That's it. So Abhilash like asked me what is code build. Code build is, for example, if you are having Java project, we need to generate var file, right? To generate the var file, what we need to do it, we need to build it. But currently we are using which project? Node.js. So I am skipping that part. If you want to build it, we need to give three files. One is appspec.yml. Second one is buildspec.yml. Appspec.yml means it will consist the application information. What it will consist? Buildspec.yml consists of build information. What information? That's it. I hope it is clear for you, Abhilash. Is it clear for you? Okay, I think he might not on the class, but it's okay. Okay, so now this is how the code pipeline is going to work. So totally we have only 5 steps. How many steps? Step number 1 is elastic block storage creation. Is that clear? Step number 2 is downloading the source code. Step number 3 is creating the repo where you are going to create on an AWS code commit, where you are going to create. And fourth one, we need to add the files, commit the files, and push the files to the code commit. Fifth one is to create the every information is coming automatically. I'm not giving any information from anywhere. It is automatically committing from there. And if you get any var files, where you are going to store? S3 buckets. Where you are going to store? Sir, if not S3 buckets on cloud service, we can create on like we can store on JFrog as well. If you want to store on JFrog, we need to create a server. What we need to create? So I'll explain the JFrog now, but before that, let me delete this one. I'm going to delete the pipeline first of all. Click on delete pipeline. Click on delete. So now pipeline is going to delete automatically. Is it deleted now? And go to your EC2 instance. Here also you need to delete the EC2 server. Like instead of deleting EC2 server, you can directly delete the EBS, Elastic Beanstalk. If you delete the EBS, Elastic Beanstalk, right? Infrastructure is going to delete. Auto scaling group, load balancing is created now, right? It is going to delete automatically. Click on this one. Go for actions. Permit environment. So here we need to give the environment name. Zomato-env is our name. We'll click on terminate, right? EC2, auto scaling group. is
recording in progress.
JFrog server. Which server? But instead of that one, what we can use on real time? S3 buckets. So it is on pending state. Wait for it. Let me connect to mobile system. Connect to it. Here you have like this link. From this link, what you are going to do is you are going to download the repository. What you are going to download? Copy this link. Sorry, first of all, I need to duplicate here. I forgot this one. Are you seeing the repo? So actually, whenever we download any repository, we need to move to etc m repos. Where we need to move? So move JFrog to etc m.repos.t. Okay. So now here we are going to install the package called Artifactory. What we need to install? So before that, like update this one, m-update -y and n m-install Artifactory -y. It is a command to update and command to install Artifactory services. Is it installing now? Are you seeing, like, if you see like how much MB it is, that MB 8.183. Are you seeing 183 bytes? And this Artifactory primary package is 22 MB. Only this separate package. So it is downloading now. Is it done now? So now Artifactory is installed. So we need to restart the service. For that purpose, use the command systemctl start Artifactory service. Copy that command and give it here. Once the service is started, we need to check the status. For that purpose, are you seeing the command here? Systemctl status. Run this command. And remember, whenever you want to change anything, like you want to make configuration, the file will be here. Are you seeing this one? opt jfrog artifactory. You are having the etc folder. Which folder? It is used for the configuration purpose. Which purpose? Like that. The status now. Status running now. currently. So copy the public IP address and paste it on the browser. Connect 8081. Now we will be able to see the JFrog platform here. Are you seeing here? And we need to log in. Credentials will be admin and password, I think so. Like, yeah, credits will be admin and password. So username is default username admin and default password will be password. Click on login. Now are you seeing the things here? Just click on like skip everything here. No need to give the new password because it is mandatory. Click on next. Skip all of this. We don't require all of this. Finish. Like if you want to upload the Artifactory, again we need to create the repository, right? So click on create repository. Sir, what kind of repository you want? Like you want local repository, remote repository, virtual repository? I want local repo. Click on add repo, local repo. I want Maven repository. Which repository? Repository key is Raham. I'm giving repository key as Raham. Click on create a repository. And if you want to add user, I have shown you how to add user give to permissions for your Jenkins. If you remember, Jenkins, we have added the users, we created the roles, and we have given roles to the user. Here also same process, nothing different. I don't want to create user for this one. Click on this one. So now if you go to the repository, you can upload your artifacts here. What you can do? Upload your artifacts. So this is the way how it gonna work. But I won't recommend to learn this one because S3 is enough. Okay. But again, if you have some interest, you can also learn this JFrog. I have just shown for your verification only, but I strongly recommend for S3 because even if you go for interview, you have said Artifactory as S3. You know everything about S3, right? But if on JFrog they will ask some different questions, you are not able to answer. So there you are going to create trouble for yourself by including JFrog, exclude JFrog and include S3. It will be fine completely. So that's it. On real time, majority of the people organization using S3 as Artifactory because if I want to use JFrog, I need to create a server, I need to maintain some special space. It will be cost effective or not. Instead of that, I can use S3 directly to retrieve the artifacts. So that's it for today. Can we continue SonarQube as well? Setup is very easy. Can we continue? Okay. Okay, let's do one thing. Like tomorrow we have career guidance, right? I'll start SonarQube and later we'll go for career guidance. Okay. So one more time I'm telling, like the address someone asked, right? So go for Google and type U Naresh IT building. Yeah, it is our location, guys. If anyone wants to come, like it is our location. Just go to the Google and type this. So that's it. So completely all of your projects are done. We have done project on Terraform, software installation done. After that, deployment done. And after that, CI/CD pipeline is done. Coming to the assignment, we have done assignment on Linux. Git done. Maven I haven't given. Jenkins done. Assignment. Ansible I have given. Docker I haven't given. Terraform I have given. Have I given Terraform assignment? No, right? Okay. If you want Terraform assignment, I'll give you tomorrow. Okay. Please give us some additional documentation for our reference. Definitely, I'll give. Like there are some other projects as well. I will give the other project videos for you as well freely. Okay. So that's it. So now online people, if you are having any doubts or queries, you can ask me. Like I am giving unmute permission for all of you. You can speak with me.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, Prem. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Surya here. Actually, I missed some classes, Terraform classes.
Okay.
Can I get those videos, sir?
How to get it? Like you can contact admin. Like they will guide you like how to get the videos.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
So any doubts or queries on today's class? Doubts? Ajay, you are not audible to me. Like I'm not able to hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Am I audible?
Your voice is too low, Ajay.
Now, sir, it's fine.
Tell me it's fine.
Sir, I have some video project regarding project. So, in that they connected the like front end IP to back end. So that's why they communicated to each other. So,
Sorry?
please explain like so. Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
So while deploying the projects, they connected the front end server IP to backend, so they can communicate each other. So I could not get that point. So that's why
The thing
I
is,
was asking.
developer they need to write the API. With the API only, then they are able to communicate. Without API, they are not able to communicate with each other.
So they just used the IP address to connect. So like
Yeah,
while
we can
deploying
connect.
on
We can connect
Kubernetes.
from user interface. Connection is possible, but to retrieve the information, actually, we need to write the API this.
So they deployed using Kubernetes, like
Okay.
Docker in Kubernetes. So
Yeah, definitely. If it is Docker and Kubernetes, ask them. They definitely write some like APIs there. Confirm with them once.
thank you.
So, still any doubts or queries?
Hello, sir. This is Shreyas.
Yeah, Shreyas, tell me.
Sir, tomorrow session is online or not, sir? For
Online,
career,
offline, both will be there, but offline will have a lot of interaction compared to online.
offline. Okay. What will be the time for tomorrow session? Like
Same timing, same timing.
matlab, till 1 p.m. or miss we have one session and then a career guidance session.
Yeah,
That's
first of
why
all,
I'm
I'll go with career guidance because that's the main thing, right? Even we can tell these scenarios and like scripting on our online class, but career guidance, like I would like to tell lively.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So I have given the document on your Google Classroom. You can take it from there. So any doubts or queries? Still. Okay, then thanks guys. I hope